And we're back for part 2. Good times. Now, as you can see, this time I've actually rectified the problem by having the picture reference in the corner here. It might not be the best resolution, so I'll tell you what, I'm going to enlarge it for the benefit of my audience. So this is essentially what it's meant to be like. Now, what I might do just like some of these bricks in just certain corners of the shot, just so like a half-tone effect. So let's see how this all works out. So we'll just minimize that a bit, and we'll move on to doing some detailing. So I'm going to need 0.5, and we'll get started. Now, first thing we're going to do is analyze the length between these two bricks here. So it's about half a centimeter. So we'll do little dots here to as point of reference. Do one there. There we go. Now, all we got to do is line after line here. Yeah, obviously it didn't quite work out as planned, so I'm going to try and actually do this vertically as opposed to horizontal. So let's just line this up. Also, guys, make sure to actually comment down below whether or not you want to actually see me possibly do more art videos in the future. Because I don't know, I think it's pretty interesting just to work out if this is worth doing, if my skill improves, and we could do things more impressive in the future. So, yeah, I'm not entirely convinced this is... I can't tell if like the ink's starting to dry on the nib, or the nib might be broken in some places, because it might not look best. But when we come to like scanning it in and fiddling around with it on Photoshop, or maybe I'll just do the next part. I'll do it like that. I'll do like do something a little bit more abstract, or maybe a little bit more simplistic still, but something done all professional like, because there was a little bit of a technique I kind of like wanted to do for adding some style, I suppose, to this product here. At the very least, I've got the picture up in the corner so that I have a point of reference nonetheless, and so like you guys at home will be able to work out what it's supposed to be. And also, it's a good thing also to know that for tomorrow being Sunday, and that it's also movie night for this channel as well. So I'll make sure to... I might even want to just straight up decide, because I think it's sort of like a toss-up between Apocalypse Now or American Beauty. One stars a person who's been in trouble for sexual allegations, and the other one's got Kevin Spacey in it. Don't worry about that. Well, I would, but it's it is what it's not what is what it is. It's just Speaking of, did anybody actually in the who's watching this ever see like House of Cards or anything like that? I heard it was supposed to be good, and then they just kind of like stopped making it because of things involving Kevin Spacey behind the scenes. Was it any better than Homeland, perchance, or was just Homeland? Because I think like Homeland had like its day in the sun pretty much gone by the time they killed off the ginger dude who was in it. I can't quite remember his name. Previously on Homeland. So now space in between, I'll do just like, what's that meant to be, like 1.5 centimeters? 1 centimeter. No, keep consistent. You know, the difficult part really of doing videos like this, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm pretty sure you've already guessed, is that it's like when you're like relying on trying to do like commentary and that, when you're trying to focus, that's why I think like you got to give hats off to people who do have to present this, because obviously you've got the work of editing and the work of just, you know, just keeping things interesting. Basically, being stuck here on my own, I'm gonna have to like fill in the entertainment for myself since there's no real music present. I'm nearly done doing the designs for just like the first part of the wall here. Then I may add some detailing with a bit of pen shaving, or maybe just what I can find. We'll see how it goes, because I'll walk you through exactly how I'm gonna like add just a little bit more here in spaces as well. Because I like to imagine that I can improve my technique. There's always room for improvement in the world of art. You just gotta know where to find it. Especially if you have a very good sense of, you know, perspective. So that's sort of like the way I sort of like designed the wall for the corner right there. Now, what's next is I'm gonna do like half tones for the possibly just like here. So let's see, I'm gonna make this quite thin, so that's 2 see. So just like a little detailing there. We'll move on just to like do a little bit of this corner as well. So Just readjusting myself in my chair. Then that's that. I suppose really I feel like we're kind of like at the point where I suppose I could just try doing a little bit of detailing, like maybe add some bushes in this. So I'll have to grab like a thicker pen. A 0.8 should do the trick here. So I'll just put this in place and just see by reference. Again, nothing really too fancy here, just do that and just like scribble, and it's not necessarily the same as sketching, but it should it's just sort of like the technique I was so like used to doing some things when I was in high school, art classes and all that. Just very, very delicately, sort of like just put it onto the page there. There's sort of one underneath the this window here, so and what else under here as well. That's there's a little bit more, so I'll tell you what, I'll use I went from 0.5. I'll try something a little bit thinner, like maybe a 0.1 here for this pile here. So and also, actually, while we're here, I'll just get like a closer-up shot of this in my photos. There we go. It's a little bit crude, yes, but I'll need to like do a little bit more smaller scales in the foreground here. That's Now, as far as like the extra detailing goes, this is sort of like my creative practice about how I'm gonna like issue some of the detailing. Is just let's see, just use it just freehand and just go over some detailing. So we'll go sort of like we'll work like this, very, very lightly over like this. Just sort of like the whole point of this is that it makes some parts look a little bit bolder in places. Oh yeah, there's actually one more thing I just need to like add in very quickly. It's sort of like the iron parts of the steps. So that, and just a little shade there. There we go. There we go. That's that part done. Now, anyway, where was I? Point 1, and once again, very lightly just going over these. Now, in case there's any other little bits I need to add, maybe the trees in the background, I suppose I could add like later on. Of course, once again, once I scan this into Photoshop, there'll be just some things here like HDR toning, and maybe putting this on grayscale may make some of the blacks stand out a bit more. Those sort of things are quite useful. Maybe I want to shade in sort of like the curve between the path and the brick wall here. That's optional. It really is. Okay, so this is sort of like what it's looking like a little bit now, which is more sort of my sort of like where I wanted to go. I may add some more half tones like these bricks here and other places. I'll continue going. I just wanted like a little bit of a presentation about how it's taking shape nicely, I reckon. So I'll move the mat for the pad for my mouse just a little bit to the left. Now, ideally, of course, I could go over the like the shading and the cracks here like again and again so that it really comes out thicker. But the problem is that it kind of distracts from the foreground just a wee bit, because it becomes so thick that it's basically just blobs of black ink all over the page, which doesn't necessarily look good. Depending on, well, it can sort of look good depending on it's about how it's done, and I'm not necessarily sure if I'm up to that point where I can like utilize that sort of thing to my advantage. like that. Now the stairs. The roof of the hall in the background. Now, also, I might just want to like just quickly. Where's the 0.8? I'll just do the quickly here, just to make these parts like just stand out on their own. Now, also, what I'm debating is whether or not I want to like end this part in the next like 5 minutes, so that, well, I can continue doing this in the background, and we could turn around and move on to maybe doing some more digital examples, or just going straight into editing this into Photoshop. So, okay, I'll keep you like well informed, because I know this part is slightly more laborious than something else, but you know, it has its benefits, to say the least, to doing things a certain way. Right, okay, so we'll dig the... Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll do we'll do the windows next. We'll do something slightly thicker. Let's do it in 0.3. We'll do the windows next. So... Okay, now, oh yes, also there's the window here. Now I'll do something slightly thinner for the foreground as well. Let's see, where's 0.1 again? There it is. Like that. I might do like a really light shade of the half tones, possibly in the intermission. You might say. So this is sort of like slowly, ever so slowly, starting to like come together. Maybe a bit of a thicker outline. I would use the 0.4. If this, I'll swap back. I'll swap back to 0.3. It's more. It's kind of the same. Just so that, yeah, like that. And it's just this ledge here. I'll tell you what, I'll call it like a break here, but more and more it's sort of like slowly starting to take shape. Things are looking a little bit thicker than before. The outlines are a little bit more refined. Everything around here starts to like stand out a little bit further. What I might do next is sort of like do like a thicker outline and just make this stand out a little bit more. Just something that's a little bit easier to see on first sight. Everything was sort of like it's sort of like I took like this one would have been like the first layer, then put the layer on top of it, but I basically just almost kind of like drew on top of it. So that's sort of like the angle I'm going for, because also I think it's like saves paper and all the rest of it. So that's sort of like going to be it for part 2, and I'll hope to see all of you guys again shortly. I'm gonna like spend the next of the portion here while encoding and you know, rendering, just to show you guys what the final result will look like before I scan it in for the illustration aspect and maybe some photoshopping. Okay, see you then, guys.